Welcome to Second Take, the show that takes a look at the issues behind the news. Team South Africa has begun its preparation for the upcoming World Economic Forum, which will be held in Davos, Switzerland in January. Creamer Media senior journalist Natasha Odendaal has been following the story, and she joins me now. Welcome, Natasha.
Hi.
So with the annual World Economic Forum meeting imminent, what are some of the key points that are likely to be highlighted?
Well, in between the two forums, the one that was held earlier this year and the one that's going to be held in January, a lot has happened. There have been global events that have literally presented clear dangers for inequality, unequal GDP distribution, and even mistrust at political levels. These global events also include, Brexit, the US elections, even Brazil's domestic policies and the presidential exit over them. They've sort of shaken up everything in the world. Now, the WEF wants world leaders to actually recognize that all of this is having an impact on the citizens worldwide. And there's a lot of discontent happening around the fact that the economic growth is just not being seen or not being felt, if you want to call it. And so in line with this, the meeting is called the meeting's theme is Responsive and Responsible Leadership. And in it, the WEF actually wants world leaders to sit back and react in a responsible manner to the social problems that the world is having at the moment. And it's actually calling now for a deeper commitment to ensure more inclusive growth that can try and bring more people into the loop to start participating more meaningfully in the economy. In terms of our own homegrown, approach to this, Economic Minister Ibrahim Patel is actually saying that South Africa itself needs a little bit of more sharper investment case and show the world what is actually being done to bolster our own growth and include our own people in economic growth. And that includes obviously our expansive investment programs for infrastructure just being one of them.
What else is South Africa's focus at this point?
Well, Minister Pravin Gordhan, he points to South Africa's singular focus being growth. We need to grow. There's just no doubt about it. We need to pursue economic growth that'll benefit business, it'll benefit labour, and just put South Africa back on the map. He wants to make sure that this growth is actually, once we've secured it, it's more inclusive. It will restructure our economy, get more competition going, and at the same time try and get our communities that are still marginalised, and it's a majority of our citizens are still marginalised, to get them to participate in our economy in a more meaningful way. And he discussed at one stage the good that South Africa has been doing. I mean, we've achieved a lot. We've got notable achievements. But the problem with this is it's actually not being seen in GDP growth. Our own citizens are not feeling it. It's not being felt in the GDP numbers, in other words. And this actually impacts the ambitions of our equal growth distribution that we're after. And it's further marginalising our citizens.
Minister Gordhan also spoke of accelerating the outcomes of the collaboration between business and governments and civil society. Can you tell me more about this?
Yeah, it's actually quite an interesting theme. That, I mean, obviously this last year, I'd say, Labour, business, government, they have been partnering to try and, bolster South Africa's perception in the world. I mean, we've obviously been facing the threat of downgrades or losing our investment grade. And in line with this, we've actually had quite extensive partnerships to try and avoid this, which has, for the most part, been successful to date. And now, the minister now wants to actually sort of accelerate this. He wants to start new conversations with Labour, start new conversations with business, and get everybody more involved to come up with new ideas, new concepts, to try and boost this collaboration a little bit more and get our economic growth back on path. He also discusses ways of trying to make a bigger difference to the citizens in South Africa. Obviously, the partnerships haven't really gotten that far yet. I mean, our most focus has been to avert any downgrades. So he wants to try now and get a bigger difference for our citizens' lives, to try and have them feel the impact of the change that is being made. And he feels that once this impact has been made, that could sort of, stimulate more growth. It could sort of get us back on the right path. And this type of united front is actually what South Africa wants to put forth at Davos next year in January. Try and show that, look, we're all holding hands, we're all working together, and no matter what, we'll overcome this.
Thank you, Natasha. That's the Second Take show for this week. Thank you for watching, and join us again next time for more news analysis.